So when I answer questions, you want me to look at you or look at the camera?
Look, whatever you want, because I'm gonna be out of here, I got a class.
Okay.
Alright, what is your last name and first name, middle initial?
First name is Richard, last name is Pack, middle initial is C.
Alright, when were you born?
I was born December 31st, 1953.
And when did you where did you live when you became part of the military?
I lived in Hamilton, Missouri.
What branch of the service were you a part of?
I joined the United States Marine Corps.
Alright, thank you, Marine. How'd you get in the service?
Well, it was really a buddy and I decided that we wanted to do something together. We weren't really happy with the job that we had, so we both went and signed up at the same time and went to boot camp in San Diego, California, MCRD. So that's how we got started. A friend of mine and I both went and signed up at the same time.
So when did you start that service?
I started on July 9th, 1974.
And where were you sent to? Where were you sent after your basic training?
I was sent back to Camp Pendleton in California, and Camp Horno is where I spent all of my 18 months of duty that I spent. Was all there in Camp Pendleton, California.
What was like happening in the world while you were part of the military? Like any wars or anything like that going on?
It was the end of the Vietnam War era. It was already, when I went in 1974, they were already to the point where they were no longer sending any troops over there, but there were still things going on and the refugees were coming back to the United States from Vietnam. And part of Camp Horno where I stayed was a refugees camp for the Vietnamese that they brought back from the Vietnam War. So that's really what was happening at that time frame that I was in.
How long were you in the military?
I was in there for 18 months, about 16 months into my duty tour. I was injured in while doing some physical training and ended up getting out with a medical discharge.
Alright, if you served during time of war, can you remember any engagements?
No, I didn't have any engagements. I never left Camp Pendleton, California, so I was not involved in any action or didn't go overseas anywhere during that tour that I had.
Do you think you have any qualities that kind of formed in the military that you kind of carry to this day?
Absolutely. I mean, the qualities of honor and commitment and everything that the United States Marine Corps teaches you definitely has carried on through past my time in the military and to this date really helped form my life and helped me in my career. Then I came back and had a career in technology in the state of Missouri for the state. And all of those qualities that were instilled in me in the Marine Corps definitely has held through and guided me through to all of my life so far since then. So it was definitely worth that.
When were your most enduring memories of being in the military?
Well, that was probably going to be getting off the bus in San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, when they lined you up. If you've seen any movies about basic training, is when you get off the bus and they put you on the little forms, footprints, and in the middle of the night, and they take you in, and the very first thing that they do is they take shears and shave your head so you don't have any chances. And my hair was way down past my shoulders when I went in, so that was probably the most memorable time, because after that you were pretty much saying, well, I can't go home now because I don't have any hair anymore.
Did you ever get back together with any of any other personnel that you served with?
I have. In fact, one of the young men that I grew up in Hamilton, Missouri, I met out there in Camp Pendleton, and we interacted for quite a while before I left. And just probably this past year, I reconnected with him on Facebook, And we have not yet been able to get together physically, but we talked through Facebook and email and everything, so that was exciting. We had a good time when we were out there, and that's probably the only person that I knew while I was in service that I've reconnected with, and he was a hometown boy from the same hometown I was, so I knew his whole family, and it was kind of exciting. He actually stayed in there and retired from the Marine Corps as a I think it was a sergeant major, and he was a drill sergeant as well.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, that's all the questions that I have, so I'd like to thank you very much for coming to this interview, and as always, thank you, Marine.
My pleasure. Semper Fi. Okay, thank you, Connie. Oh, this is yours. So, let me take all this stuff out. I'll leave this with you. If you have any questions, you have my phone numbers. But happy birthday, Tom.
I'm not sure how you work this camera. Oh.